Multipurpose with Lakshit. So today we have Ankita joining here. So Ankita is an astrologer, a numerologist, and fashion designer. And yeah, so thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure having you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Lakshit, for giving me this opportunity. Of course, it's wonderful talking over here.
It's my pleasure having you. Thank you very much. So yeah, first question to you is, if you can speak about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so I'm an astrologer, numerologist, and yes, I'm a fashion designer as well. And I started on a very early period, my profession that is astrology. And I got this from a maternal uncle. It's in my blood, like both the sides. And of course, like my grandfather. So that's how I got into this. And initially I started like as a fashion designer, but this interest was with me from very long time. So I finally thought on it's better, it's time to move on and go for it. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm there on multiple platform. I'm the founder of dearbehappy.com, and that's my thing where I solve problems of people and the issues and everything, whether it's career, marriage, love, relationship, whatever it is.
Okay. And how did you get into being an astrologer? So what's the story behind that?
So, since childhood, I saw my maternal uncle practicing it. So whenever I used to go there during Durga Pujas and all, I used to see that he so confidently he used to tell so nicely. I will say that about people, and they used to get surprised about it. So that's how the thing came into me, that if there is a tool through which we can actually get to know somebody's life, personality, and everything, so why not
Mhm.
to go and study about it? So he
Yeah.
saw that interest in me, and that's how he wanted to make me know more about it. And he taught me everything, all whatever was there. So that's how I decided that, okay, I'll be doing that along with my studies and everything. So when the right time came, I moved completely to this sector, of course.
Okay. And what did you like? What was your qualification before becoming an astrologer? What were you like? What were you reading?
So I will say that I basically I completed my fashion designing course, graduation in fashion designing, because I wanted to be a fashion designer. So that time, what used to happen when I was too much into it, my maternal uncle always used to say that no matter how much studies you're going to do, you going to come back to this sector. So initially, like when I was a kid, I had this passion of doing designing and everything since childhood, like while I was in class 5 since then. So I always wanted to be a fashion designer and everything. But he always used to bring that out, that that is also there in your thing, that you will be an astrologer once. So then when I got into that thing, this interest into occult, mainly it is a subject into esoteric knowledge. So that feeling of what is there, is the curiosity of what's behind that, that actually brings, that is the thing that comes up. So I used to practice along with him, and when I studied, I found out, yes, there is so many things about myself, about my friends, that I can get to know. So it
Yeah.
is just like, if you someday get a tool by which you can get to know, others' life, your life, why will you not use that? So that's how I felt like, I should also go along with it. And I saw that, yeah, it is like when your prediction starts coming true, you become known to people and everything. So that's how that came. And I thought that, okay, now, and this is one of the medium by which you can do good to people. So I felt like that is one of the biggest thing a person can do, like do good to somebody. So that's how I thought. After graduation, I along with my work, I also started this side by side. So I built in 2015, I thought of um, coming more like in front of the people and everybody, in front of people, and interact and solve this thing. So I took it professionally then. So
Okay.
that's how it came. Yeah,
Okay.
all about
And
it.
and and what was your like? What was your friend's response and your colleague's response when you said you're an astrologer?
That was wonderful. Actually, I never got anything like it is a bad thing or it's a wrong thing, or it is always like, wow. The thing was like, wow, oh, it's so good. So till date, it's like everybody, all my friends and everybody, I don't think there's anybody who can who told me that why you're going to this profession or why you want to and something. Rather, they encouraged me, motivated me, and yes, they always thank that, okay, thank God there is one friend of mine who is into that. So they always, till date, they always come and they say that please check it this or that or something like that. So it's always good. I always get a good response, and that motivates me actually a lot.
Okay, okay. And as we everybody knows, as people are changing, as mindsets are changing, you would be having this, you would be thinking about this also. That people are stopped believing in this astrology and numerology, these kind of things. There are people who believe, but I just want to know from your side, what do you think about this? Like, why you think astrology? Why does people do not accept that astrology is one part of the Indian culture and it's all fine to believe in it?
You know what? When I was in college days, I thought that people are now not believing in astrology or numerology and everything. But like I said, when I started this Dear Be Happy of mine on, so I had to do a lot of research whether people are going into that subject or not, whether they are interested or not. I actually found out that no, it is wrong. The statistics shows that it's increasing. That's not declining.
Okay.
So so the thing that I felt like my generation will not be able to accept it, it's actually wrong. They're accepting it more. So when I saw that, and that is a thing, you know what this happens naturally, and I tell also in multiple vlogs also I've said this thing. When you confront somebody, they are not like that, brave to say that, yeah, I believe in spirituality or astrology or numerology and anything. But on the back end, they will definitely come and consult. They do this thing. So this is something that I felt like they're quite, either they're shy telling about it, or they have a thing that, like my things will be out into the world. Like the astrologer will get to know my generation will get to know me in a much better way. So this I
Yeah.
felt initially when I was in college, that I don't know whether people will take it in a good way or not. But I was surprised to see that the statistic shows that it's increasing day by day. So and the very big reason is that negativity is increasing day by day. And as long as there will be bad, there has to be something good to actually correlate, or you can say balance. So
Yeah.
that's what I felt. And the insecurity that is increasing day by day, everybody nowadays are insecure. Even if your child is a gold medalist, still you're insecure about his or her future. So
Yeah.
it's from the very beginning till you are like taking your last breath, it is always an insecurity, and it's growing day by day. And that is what is actually making this industry, or I can say this profession, grow more. That is your own insecurity. So this
Okay.
is increasing. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. And okay, so coming to this question is, what is really, like, what is astrology according to you?
See, I will say it is like, if you go on Britannica or Wikipedia, you will get it like it's a pseudoscience. Like over there, because if you don't have anything like with correct explanation, if you say in the terms of science, if there's no experiment held out of that, and it's like completely shown to you, then you feel a sense like, okay, this is a pseudoscience. But I will say that it is a tool. I will say it is a kind of like, and totally I will say that astrology and astronomy is just slightly different, because whatever like when we take a date of birth or time, or it's all about latitude and longitude and the place where you are born and the planetary position. So that are the very same if you go and check like whether the planets were there in that position or that angle or not. So that's how it is. The only difference is we predict through that. The constellation is used over there, over here as well. So the planetary position over there, over here as well. So it's the exact degree over there and here as well. It is just that here it is like a calculation, or you can say a formula that's taken out based on the distance of the earth from the sun and from the moon and the other planets, and the division, and that brings up the houses and everything, and through which we are actually able to calculate like what is going to happen next. And also a big time, like your personality, how you're going to be more to incline towards what and not. So these all things come up easily. So that's the only difference. But I will say it's kind of a device or calculation or method or formula or tool through which you can get to know your self in a much better way.
Okay, okay. And what is what are the kind of myths people have regards to astrologers?
See, I will say that like a few days back, somebody asked me that it was a live session, and somebody asked that I'm an atheist, but still can I be an astrologer? You're absolutely fine. Yes, you can. And to be honest, like I said, that when I started this thing, I was a critic. I was a critic of this subject. And if you start any subject with the mind of a critic, you will be able to understand that subject in a much better way. You
Yeah.
like you are more into the research that how and why, how it is happening, why not on somebody and why not on others. So that mentality will be there. So I told that if you're an atheist, then you will be able to learn the subject even much in a much better way than
Mhm.
right, rather believing it first and then going, because when you're having a faith and you're getting into a subject means half of the war is already won, like there's nothing much that you can do. But when you're entering into it as an atheist or critic, so of course you will be able to know why, you will go into the minutest of detail and will be able to find out the clause or the flaws of this yeah, and also will like to bring up something new or some new formulas or something, I mean, a bit of like a research. So that's, but yeah, there are a lot of myths are I mean, I will say the problem with this sector or this profession is the myths, because there are a lot of things included into this subject which are not part of it. Absolutely not. If you say like a kali billi rasta kar jana, okay, my din is going to be bad, and then you mix that with these all subjects, okay, like like if suppose I tell somebody that you're not going to have a good day tomorrow or something, and if suppose there's a kali billy who crossed your feet, okay, that happened, and ma'am told me don't mix these two subjects. Okay, I told you on the basis of like a tool, a device, or something. So a
Mhm.
black cat has nothing to do with your day, right? So it
Yeah.
is just cat. And anyway, we know like animals have sixth sense, so they're anyway higher. Their higher self is even more higher than us. So they anyway, if you're telling that they are cautious about anything, yes, they get cautious about things beforehand. But crossing a road will not make your day good or bad. Then there are other things like, yeah, and there is one very good thing I will share. Like I had this thing, somebody actually gave me like a kind of a powder or something and they told me, ma'am, like can you just share about it? And I was like, what to share about it? And they told me, ma'am, this, if you actually clean your house with this kind of a powder, it will remove the depression out of your mind. And I was like, wait a second, what are the ingredients of the powder? And they were like, ma'am, we cannot say the ingredients, because that's, if we say, then like the rivals can take it or something like that. Ah, whatever, that's their thing, that's not my thing. But I was like, you see, it is not that I need to know, because I'm not being able to relate that how can a powder that I'm going to mop change my depression. So that was like there was a lady like who was pregnant. Okay, so who is still pregnant, and she asked in the live session itself, like, ma'am, somebody told me that during a pregnancy, like you shouldn't use any sharp objects or like a scissor or something and all. So if you use such sharp object, then there's a tear or a cut in the baby, a newborn baby. So like these all things are like, I said, see, if you're anyway, if like anybody is using a sharp object, should be careful first of all, no matter you're pregnant or not. And if you're using a hard machinery or tool, like like sewing machine or like any or like a manual machine, any kind of, which has a lot of like pressure that you have to give through your foot or anything, so that's a medical thing that a gynecologist will be able to tell you. But I have no clue about this, that playing with Caesar or using Caesar will bring a tear or a scar or cut on the baby. No, no, no. This is something out of the blue. So yes, so these questions I do get, ma'am, tell me. So I don't find where is that connection. So yeah, there are a lot of things. Then this recent eclipse went regarding that. Also, there were loads of myths. There will always be myths in this subject, and I feel there is a reason basic behind these all things, that earlier what happened, like to keep you away from these objects, like if somebody is pregnant, it's better not to you, because if by any chance it can give a cut to you first, then to the baby or whatever. So just say like when a small kid goes outside, we say, oh, don't go outside, jhola baba pakad lega ya koi ye pakad lega. So it's like yeah, bhoot pakad whatever. So this is to give a fear into that, into his or her mind, so that you don't do that activity. So I feel like these has that type of thing only, that if you do such things, better to put a fear so that you will not do anything. So that's how this myths actually came from a long time and still continue. That's like there are loads of.
And didn't people tell you that the the astrologers are normally men? How you being a woman you're an astrologer? Did he have these like of comments also?
No, there are women astrologers. Yeah, males are there, of course, a lot, I guess. Yeah, but females are also there. But yes, yes, one thing came to me like because like I turned astrologer or astrologer numerologist from fashion designer. So that question came a lot like these two industry, spiritual and Vedic astrology and numerology and fashion industry, mane, two poles apart industries. So of course, like how that thing came, and also I don't wear these all stuffs like like a
Yeah,
tilak, your forehead or this that. And see, I believe it is the knowledge that should be shared, and I also believe in that philosophy: don't judge a book by its cover. So because mainly, and today in today's world, I feel like if I dress up more like a like spiritualize something, then I believe like people will take me more like a dhongi something, because
yeah,
now
yeah,
an image has also come up like this generation, like you, me. We don't, most people will not go to anybody who is like dress up like this until unless we literally know like they are very much authentic or something. And also I believe that remain what you are. It's the knowledge, it's your talent, it's your work that will speak, rather than how you present yourself. That's what matters actually. Quality is what people want these days. That is.
yeah. Yeah, okay, okay, great. And how, like, why there are sometimes in, predictions of astrology fails? Like, what's the reason for that?
See, they will. I will say there are two things which is very important. One, I always tell people to check upon their karma, like what good deeds you're doing and what bad deeds you're doing. I always tell that there is a phase in life. There's always a phase in life, which is also part of Vedic astrology, but very few astrologers do research on that section, and that is called the karma. Karma means like whatever you'll be doing that's good or bad, there will be a phase in your life, a lifespan, and that will fall then. So during that time, there is, even if you try your level best to come out of that situation, you won't. It is, I always tell, it's complete a blockage in your chart, or you can say a planetary position. And until unless you come out of that thing, nothing, because there is a thing in physics also that every action has equal and opposite reaction. So
Yeah,
similarly, like whatever you will be doing, you will be getting it back. Might be not today or tomorrow, but there has to be a balance in this universe. So everything should be an equation. Okay, you cannot make anything go higher or less. It should be balanced. The nature has to be balanced. Otherwise, like right now, if the nature is what it's doing during the corona time is trying to balance itself as much as it can, because of course we have destroyed. So there has
yeah,
to be a measure where you have to bring that balance in your life. So that is the time when there is a karma thing. And also we also suggest a lot of remedies, of course. So when we suggest remedies, we also wish when there is a bad thing that's about to come in your future or whatnot, to be honest. So we actually ask that, see whether if there is something bad coming in your life, okay, and it is actually happening. So of course, when we are telling you that thing beforehand, we want you to change that yourself. Then only you will be able to like utilize this knowledge, or else what's the purpose? So if it is a good thing, then I will tell that make yourself more apt or more ready, okay, for that opportunity. And if there is an issue or a threat that's about to come, then get ready for that as well. So whenever it's going to come, you have to face it. You cannot ignore it for sure, but get ready by that time, or else whatever I suggest you will be waste, complete waste. So these are the things. If somebody crosses that era in a very good way, which means that you have faced this era, crossed it, and like an easy way, then of course you're changing it. Of course you're
yeah,
actually changing your own future. So that is one of the things. So there are, of course, things like the karma will always interfere. It will always interfere. There's no option for that. And whenever that phase will be coming, there is no astrologer on this planet or numerologist or any esoteric knowledge people who are into that going to help you out in that scenario. No, never. That has to be done by you. Absolutely.
okay, okay. And how as a career would you recommend astrology?
See, I say it's a very good career because if your thought is to help people, you will be more into the correct form of it rather than, see, if I take, like, if you keep, like, I have to make a lot of money or something or whatever, so it you have a different form of presenting your knowledge, very different from any like person who has an intention to help. But I feel that if you are, or like I said, if you are joining this profession, or you want to learn more about this knowledge, then be a critic first and come into this. And second thing is that now after that, you, if you want to make it as your profession, then I would say the first thing should be to help others. Late, the money will of course come to you if your predictions comes true. It is not a problem, because if your prediction comes true, they will of course see the quality and they will be returning back. So it is always your knowledge, your quality that speaks, and be have that initiative to help others first. That's the only thing that you have to
Okay,
do. And
and
it's a
how?
brilliant profession.
Okay, yeah, please continue. No.
I'm saying that it's a brilliant profession, and like a lot of young people are now this into this profession. And I see, when I see like a lot of people in the professional networks also, I feel really good. I actually feel really good because I really want when people from this generation, from our generation, to come with correct knowledge, and I will say the screen that field, this profession, screen it. Like, we literally want good, authentic, and correct person into this profession, so that this knowledge, which like it came out from the Vedas, of course. So of course, this is something, this we all know that Vedas has given so much to the world. Indian culture has given so much to the world. Either it's Ayurveda, or it's yoga, or it's pranayam, or it's mantras, or it's the biggest sound, that is the Om, the word. So we have given so much. So why to, why to remove or just forget this knowledge? It's better that this generation comes up with this as well.
Okay, and how does the prediction thing works? How do you predict? Like, what kind of things help you predict? Yeah, how do you predict? Like,
So
what?
who has their okay. So what happens is, like, initially we need your name, your time of birth, and place of birth. So that is to see the planetary position. What was the planetary position at that time when you were born? Okay, so these details are because to know the planetary position. So there are like 12 houses in the chart and 9 planets that we have taken. So the placement of the planets in each and every houses depicts a different personality of yours, your life, your
Mhm.
mother, your father, your relationship with people, your career, and everything. Every house has like a different identification, or you can say different information comes from different houses. So this is about the charts, and to be honest, there is just not one chart. There can be multiple charts, like from Lagna or Navasma, or there are like other charts also, which we also say that a complete genre, to be honest, like from day one to the end of this world. Actually, if you make a chart for each and every day, that can also be done. But of course, we don't go into such minute thing to find out each and every day, of course. But there are loads of charts, and then there are the planetary positions who will be governing you for a long time. So it can be of 6 year or 8 years or something, under which there are again like, if I go too technical, nobody will be able to understand though. But yeah, it's like Mahadasha, then Antardasha, and then also that has to relate with your position. If some houses are low, means you're not going to have that thing in your life. So this comes, but a lot of people do have this problem, that they don't have the correct time of birth. So there is also a process through which you can do birth time rectification. That is also a way. So if somebody doesn't know the correct time of their birth, it can also be found out through that knowledge itself. So, and if you don't have any idea about your time of birth, like no approx time or around or between or anything, then there comes the numerology, because I find numerology is again another subject which is very much correct, and that also through which also we can also find out. So in that thing, your just date of birth is enough to tell everything about your life. So even if you don't have your place of birth or time, you can still get to know a lot about yourself. So I came into these two mainly because of lot. I found a lot of people those who don't have their the exact time of birth, or mostly you can say that when I was in college days, the best part which everybody would like to hear is like dating people, dating guys or girls, whatever. So my friends used to come and ask like, Ankita, I'm going to date this girl or this guy or something. Any idea about how she's going to be or what should I do or something? So that came into like, okay, so they didn't know about, I don't know about the time of birth or place. How will I find out? So that time, like even the birthday, okay, fine. At least I know the birthday and everything. So it used to become very easy for me to tell about their personalities. And I have helped a lot many people to at least get dates or, like get girlfriends or boyfriends. So that's how I went, and I found that these two subjects are very good. So one without a time of birth or place can also be an amazing to find a subject to find out your details, and one with all these details, that is astrology.
Okay, like how do you find somebody's birth date in numerology?
Okay, so birthday is like suppose like your if your date of birth is you want to know the formula calculation or what, like what is the
Like
thing?
I just want to know how you do it. Like not the calculation, but how do you do it? How what are the things you need to get somebody's date
Okay.
of birth?
So, yeah, see, so for date of birth, what I will be needing is your first date, that is your ruling number, which is like on which day you're born. So, if you're suppose born on, this is June, so today is like 21st. Um, so, if suppose, to be honest, yeah. So, if suppose it is 23rd, so if on 23rd, if suppose today is somebody's birthday, then your ruling number will be 5. Okay, so I need to know the first two digit, of course, like 23rd June. The second one that is very important is the month. Okay, so if it is June, so it has to be 6. Okay, so and the third is the year. Okay, so if that is if suppose anybody is born on 90 or 91 or something like that, so on the basis of these three numbers and which year you're going to predict, if like it is 2020, then we have to add that as well in a formula, of course. Or else if you want to find out for your day, then there's a long formula. If it is a month, then again it's a long formula. So every month there is a transit that is happening in numerology. Also, it is not that we don't work on planets. In numerology also we talk about planets. So the ruling number has to be one very important thing, that is on which day you're born. And the Vedic number everybody knows, and that is also called the destiny number. That is your total of the your date of birth. So that is again, so your suppose the first two digits shows your personality, one thing that everybody should know also. And the ruling numbers actually tell about your personality. It has to be like that. So in numerology, we have divided everybody into 9 different numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So no matter what is your number, it has to come down to one single digit at the end to find out your personality. And of course, there is difference. So it is like if somebody is born on 23rd, and suppose the ruling number is 5, like 2 and 2 plus 3 is 5, suppose. So it is not that you will be very similar to a person who is born on 5th of June. So suppose you're born on 5th, and if you're born on 14, or if you're born on 23rd, all the ruling number will be 5. But you will be having a different personality. So if suppose 5 is you're born on 5th of June, so you will be having a higher frequency of Mercury. That is 5 represents Mercury. So something like that. If you're having 14, then you will be having 1 and 4 that combines and becomes a 5. So you will be having a personality of 1, that is Sun, 4, that is Rahu, and of course the total has to be 5. So it's again Mercury. So three different personalities in one person. So if it's 23, it has to be Moon and Jupiter. That's 2 and 3. So like that. So once you are into this, and you have to practice, to be honest, it is not just you read just the formulas and you're ready. No, it is not like that. So you like how I started was a very different procedure. So what happened in this procedure is that like I asked my friends to give a brief description about like the legends or something and all, and I will be starting making a guess about which can it be, what can be their date of birth, or what can be that thing. So a lot of practice is required. The more you practice, practical knowledge is required. The more you practice, the more you become fluent in this thing. But I will also say that when you start initially practicing, like you said about anybody who is starting into coming into this profession, I would rather say that you do it first with your known people, because what happens is you just cannot be professional and giving some like a little knowledge or half knowledge to people. That will be more dangerous. Okay, so it's better that you do it with your like known peoples, because they are there with you, so you can understand their life, their personality and everything, and the legends, because you know what they're doing next, what not, and everything. An unknown person who is coming to you to consult, and if you're trying on them, it can be dangerous. So rather a very wrong information can go. So a lot of calculations, to be honest, it is pure calculation. So whether it's astrology or numerology, their rashi, lagna, nakshatra, tithi, house, the conjunction of houses, the dosh, the dashas, everything matters over here. Like if I if I go into more in-depth words, nobody will be able to know, but on a zest, it is pure calculations. No magic, but yeah, pure calculations.
Okay, okay, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, so last question to you is like, what would be your special message would you like to live here? Or what would you like? Do you think we forgot about something? Would you like to add some more things? You can just do it now.
See, I can't remember that we forgot anything or something. But yes, one thing is very true is, like I said, that before, like in this profession, in this field and everything, the first and foremost thing for everybody, when you're starting, or if you want to learn, or if you want to like try on yourself, is should be like a mind open mind thing. Do not like come with any expectations, or come with any faith, or come with any like negativity also towards this. Be open minded, clear picture, whatever it is, and also that you can get to know the proper knowledge, which is right, of course, which is a correct form. But you will be
Mhm.
able to understand when you just leave all the things whatever people said, and just see yourself, read it clearly, see yourself whether this works or not. Because I also came into it like that only. I had a very big doubt about this subject when I started as a critic. So, but when I read, I literally understood that, oh my God, Mane, this is amazing. This is just amazing, because there are so many things that we can do, and it's just not in your thing, in your career, in your profession, and which person going to like you, who's not going to like you or not. And you won't believe, like I have cracked every interview till date. To be honest, there is no interview, like my brother always says me that you can write a book how to. So like that helped me, that the subject actually helped me. So it is like you will be able to understand the concept that yeah, this works. And don't be too much into like this has to be like this, because you, when you read about it, when you do the formulas, you understand that will naturally be happening. Okay, so of course that will be happening, that is a thing. And the best thing is about this subject, that you're starting as a profession, is have an intention to help others. So whether like initially you told me that whether it's a depression, or it is, sometimes a lot of people do come and they only need a bit of motivation. That's all, because that sometimes the chart is absolutely correct. And of course there are like, you just need to give a bit of like positive thoughts to them. That's absolutely fine, nothing else. So take this subject in a good way, and make the first and foremost thing should be to help others. That's all that you should do whenever you start with this subject. And a person who has a goal to help others can never be wrong, to be honest. But that person will never do anything wrong, keeping in mind like a lot of people have trust on you. So if you break the trust once, it's gone forever. So that's
Yeah.
what is, yeah, so that's what matters, should be always be there in your brain, that you have to be correct. You should have the thing about a happy life. So yeah, and a lot of things can be predicted through this thing. So which is brilliant, which is actually brilliant. So I would like to tell people that whoever has, a lot of people do have interest, first of all, then you definitely go see yourself, check it out. Definitely don't just come and give anything until unless you do a bit research on this subject. And a lot of people, those who are shy, especially from our generation, I know this happens a lot, many times. I get private message, I will never hear them in public, but I will always get a private message from them. So this also happens. of course. So it is nothing wrong, nothing to be ashamed. I am from the fashion industry. If I can go into this subject and I am absolutely fine, comfortable sharing it out, there is no harm. And
Yeah.
yeah, and one more thing that I would like to share is that initially when you told me, right, that the bully thing that we were talking about, the biggest problem in this world is of course being bullied and being timid and all, is why is because people don't speak up. So that's why, yes. So whatever it is, even if you are in trouble, whether you're approaching me, if you need a help of a psychologist, if you need a help of a doctor, a psychiatrist, please don't be shy. There's no harm about it. There's no harm to it. You need help. That's be specific, clear. Speak up. Be brave. It is the fight of the fittest. Okay, survival of the fittest. And to be honest, one very important thing is in today's world, that is in 2020, after seeing what is happening in the world, we actually have to take real care about your physical and mental health. And for
Yeah.
both the things, yeah, and for both the things, whatever help anybody requires, do take help. That's very important. So the message will be this, that if you need help, just ask for help. That's the most important thing.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for giving wonderful session. A lot of new things to learn. I didn't know what astrology. Like I we I my parents do believe in astrology, and I do. I'm just still a small boy, so I don't know. You know. So
Okay, it's not a problem. I understand that completely.
so still
And
I
all,
don't
it was really
still I don't have to worry about astrology. So yeah, totally different perception, totally different thing to learn. So thank you very much for being here. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you very much.
it was amazing here. Lakshit, thank you so very much. It was really pleasure talking to you.
It's my pleasure to have you. Thank you very much.